Hello, welcome. And recently we've had some huge wins for game preservation. And today, I've got some very interesting updates to share with you. There is now a native PC port for Ace Combat 6. At the same time, for those who are still fans of the Ace Combat franchise, it's also now possible to play Ace Combat Infinity on RPCS 3 through relatively simple modifications. On the PlayStation 2 preservation side, it's now possible to play practically the entire Jak and Daxter franchise through OpenGoal, with the only exception being Jak X Combat Racing. And to top it all off, Zelda Twilight Princess is finally starting to appear on PC for the very first time, bringing new features, improvements, and several enhancements. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about right after the sponsors. If you want to buy original games while saving a lot, check out Instant Gaming, the digital store that sells games for various platforms, such as PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch. Get games of all genres with discounts of up to 95%. You'll also find a variety of gift cards and credits for other services. You can pay for your order through your credit card on a website with a 4.7 rating on Trustpilot. You're buying games directly from Instant Gaming, not from other retailers. If you encounter any issues, Instant Gaming offers 24/7 support. What are you waiting for to save? Links in the description. Starting with the Ace Combat 6 port, which can now be executed natively on PC. However, among all the port projects we've seen recently, this might be one of the simplest so far. Unlike other projects, where we can usually modify practically everything, such as FPS, resolution, render distance, and many other engine-level elements, this one still has several limitations. The port still suffers from visual issues, low-resolution objects, certain elements running at low frame rates, and overall there still aren't many truly significant improvements yet. One example is support for higher frame rates. Even when configuring the game to use the maximum refresh rate of my monitor, which in my case is 180 Hz, some effects still run at only 30 FPS, exactly like they did on the original console. You can increase the internal resolution, but currently there's still no control over anti-aliasing, which ends up heavily limiting the visual gains. So at this moment, the experience still feels much more like a functional proof of concept rather than a fully polished port. But of course, this could evolve significantly as development progresses. Now talking about compiling the project itself, it's not extremely difficult, but it does require several dependencies, such as CMake and other additional components. I already compiled the project myself and pinned everything in our Discord to make life easier for people who don't want to waste time configuring dependencies, searching for tutorials, or manually compiling everything. And for those planning to compile it themselves, I strongly recommend creating a Windows restore point before starting. That way, you avoid ending up with leftover tools and software cluttering your system afterward. At the moment, the Ace Combat 6 port is available only on Windows. Another Ace Combat title that has finally come back to life is Ace Combat Infinity. This was one of those difficult preservation cases, since the game depended entirely on official servers that were shut down years ago. But now, thanks to community efforts, the game is once again functioning almost completely. Unlike Ace Combat 6, which received a native port, here you'll still need to use RPCS 3. But honestly, the process is much simpler than it sounds. I'll leave a video showing exactly how to get everything working. Basically, you only need to install all game updates, enable a specific patch, and use a homemade private server. After that, it's already possible to play through the entire campaign from beginning to end without interruptions. And this type of project shows exactly why game preservation matters so much. When the community truly wants to keep a game alive, not even the shutdown of official servers can stop it. The game can run on practically any platform compatible with RPCS 3. However, at least for now, the private server currently used to connect online appears to be available only on Windows. The Jak and Daxter franchise is also now running natively on PC thanks to the OpenGoal project. The project has been available since 2022 and works in an extremely simple way. You just provide the original North American ISOs of the games, without needing practically any technical knowledge or programming experience to get everything running. In fact, the first game had already been playable since 2020, and honestly, this project became a complete game changer for PlayStation 2 preservation. OpenGoal supports texture packs, languages that never originally existed, frame rate improvements, widescreen support, ultra-wide support, custom resolutions, and practically every modern feature you could want from native recompilations and ports. Recently, we also got beta support for Jak 2. And as you can see from the gameplay, the game is already working extremely well. The amount of enhancements and customization options is also massive, letting you tweak practically everything exactly how you want. The only thing I still feel is missing is better support for certain specific languages. But the real big news is that last week we finally got the official beta release of Jak 3 on OpenGOAL. And that is huge. Jak 3 has always been known for having multiple issues in traditional emulation, so seeing the game running natively on PC, packed with extra improvements and great stability, is honestly impressive. The OpenGOAL version brings countless additional settings, graphical improvements, and modern features. So far, the only thing I noticed not working properly is the official PTBR text support. But even so, as you can see from the gameplay, the experience is already far beyond what we usually achieve through emulation. Unfortunately, there's still no official prediction for Jak X, Combat Racing. And that's a shame, because this is still one of the best Mario Kart-style games available on the PlayStation 2, especially if you enjoy vehicular combat. The game has a huge amount of content, several customization options, and extremely fun gameplay. In fact, even on original hardware it was already problematic, mainly because the autosave system was broken on early disc versions, forcing players to use Revision 2 in order to avoid corrupted save files and other issues. And even today, Android emulation for the game still suffers from several bugs and instability problems. Currently, OpenGOAL is available for Windows, macOS, and Linux. And if you want to keep up with more videos about game preservation, native ports, recompilation projects, and the latest emulation news as soon as they appear, make sure to follow the channel. And if this is your first time here, consider subscribing so you don't miss the upcoming content. And finally, we have another major addition to the world of recompilation projects, the so-called Project Dusk. This project brought full compatibility for Zelda, Twilight Princess running natively across multiple platforms, including Windows, Linux, Android, and even iOS. And just like other modern recomp projects, it doesn't simply recreate the game on PC, but also adds a massive amount of quality of life improvements. These include motion control support if you're using a DualShock 4 or any other Euro-compatible controller, along with texture packs, enhanced resolution, custom resolutions, unlocked frame rate, and many other customization features. And maybe a lot of people are asking themselves, but why use a recompiled version if Dolphin already runs this game perfectly? And the answer is simple. Playing without emulation already brings several advantages on its own. Besides reducing emulation overhead, you gain access to practically unlimited modding possibilities, much deeper graphical improvements, and an absurd amount of flexibility to customize the experience exactly how you want. And best of all, the project continues receiving frequent updates, expanding the possibilities even further. Getting the project running is also extremely simple. You just place the executable in the same folder as the North American ISO of the game, point the program to where the file is located, and within seconds the gameplay starts. After that, you'll have access to full menus with graphics APIs, resolution settings, performance tweaks, and several other advanced options. And these were this week's projects. As soon as more news appears regarding preservation, recompilation projects, and emulation, I'll bring everything here for you. And remember, downloads for all the projects mentioned will be available in the description. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.